So let me guess. It's your first date. You paid for dinner. You paid for her Uber. You paid with your time, your attention, your energy. And she paid you back with distance. You left that restaurant wondering why something felt off. You did what you were told a real man should do. Polite, generous, attentive. You smiled, you covered the bill, you walked away proud, but also empty. Because deep down you sensed it. You didn't pay for dinner. You paid for validation. You were buying acceptance, approval, and maybe, subconsciously, affection. Most men don't even realize they've fallen into the transaction trap. They think paying equals respect, when in reality, it often communicates insecurity. Modern dating has twisted the first date into a psychological test, not of kindness, but of awareness. The Stoic man understands that love is never a transaction. It's an exchange of values. But when you pay before she's earned your effort, you shift from the man evaluating the connection to the man performing for it. Welcome to the Stoic guy, where men evolve through philosophy, psychology, and quiet strength. Here, we don't chase validation. We cultivate presence. We don't react to emotion. We master it. If you've ever walked away from a date feeling drained, disappointed, or disrespected, this message is for you because this isn't about bitterness. It's about balance. It's about understanding that real respect starts when you stop paying to be liked and start standing in your own value. Stay until the end, because by the time this message finishes, you'll see that refusing to pay on the first date isn't about money. It's about mindset. And when you master that mindset, you'll never be used, played, or drained again. Let's start. 1. The first date is an interview, not an offer. The first date isn't about proving your value. It's about observing hers. But most men flip that dynamic without even realizing it. They approach the date like an interview for love, showing up with nervous generosity instead of grounded curiosity. They try to impress before they even assess. When you offer to pay before the connection has revealed itself, you send a subtle signal. I'm here to win you, not to understand you. Stoic philosophy warns against this impulse. It teaches, test before you trust. Every act of generosity should come from strength, not fear. The first date isn't an audition, it's an observation. And your wallet should never speak before your awareness does. When you lead with money, you're not showing confidence. You're showing compliance. You're rewarding someone before they've proven they deserve your energy. That's not leadership. That's emotional bribery. 2. The psychology of value and investment. In psychology, value perception is shaped by investment. People only respect what they contribute to. When you pay immediately, she hasn't earned anything yet. So subconsciously, she devalues the experience. It's not malicious. It's human nature. We don't cherish what we don't work for. And in modern dating, attention, validation, and effort have become cheap currencies. The Stoic man understands that money isn't the problem. Attachment is. There's nothing wrong with paying for dinner when the connection feels authentic and mutual. But there's everything wrong with paying to be perceived as a good guy. That's not kindness. That's compliance disguised as virtue. You're not being noble, you're being predictable. And predictability kills attraction faster than anything else. 3. The Stoic rule of intention. Epictetus once said, "It's not things that disturb us, but our opinions about things." Paying on a date isn't inherently bad or good. It's your intention behind it that defines everything. Are you doing it from self-respect or self-doubt? Are you expressing confidence or compensating for lack of it? The Stoic man asks these questions before acting. He never performs generosity for validation. He expresses it from alignment. When you pay automatically, you're acting without awareness. You're following a script written by culture, not by principle. But when you act with awareness, even the smallest gesture becomes powerful because it's authentic. The woman across the table will feel it. She'll notice the difference between the man who pays to impress and the man who offers from genuine composure. One is hoping for approval. The other is offering peace. 4. The problem with automatic generosity. Automatic generosity kills polarity. When everything is offered too early, mystery dies, tension fades, and what could have been respect becomes routine. She doesn't feel your presence. She feels your performance. And the truth is, the world doesn't reward performance. It rewards principle A. Stoic man never gives out of habit. He gives from hierarchy, his hierarchy of values, not society's. Generosity is powerful when it comes from choice, not obligation. If you pay, it should be because you want to, not because you feel you have to. When you pay for the meal before the connection, you're essentially saying, I'll lead with provision before personality. But true leadership begins with emotional composure, not financial contribution. Stoicism reminds us, the wise man gives not to please others, but because giving reflects his nature. If this hits, drop a like and comment, men are the prize. And if you're still watching, you're already ahead of most men. You're not watching for dating tricks. You're watching for truth. You're the kind of man who wants to understand his own behavior, not blame others for it. That alone puts you in the top 5%. Because most men would rather complain about women than discipline themselves. So, if you're done paying for validation and ready to start earning respect through silence, presence, and composure, and subscribe to the Stoic Guy right now. Because what's coming next will teach you the kind of calm power that can't be bought. Let's continue. 5. The modern dating illusion. Modern dating has quietly evolved into a stage where performance replaces authenticity. Everyone's trying to look like they have options, and everyone's pretending to care less than they actually do. But beneath that performance, one truth remains constant. Whoever invests first usually loses the frame. Most men don't understand this because they were raised on outdated scripts. Be polite, pay the bill, smile, and she'll respect you. But respect doesn't come from compliance. It comes from control, not over her, but over yourself. When a man pays by default, he's sending a subconscious message. I'm already committed. That's dangerous because you're committing to someone you don't even know. Yet Stoicism calls this an unexamined impulse. It's when emotion overrides reason, when desire makes you act before you think. And the moment you do that, you lose awareness of what's actually happening. You start focusing on being liked instead of seeing clearly. The Stoic man knows that the first date is not a prize to win. It's a mirror to observe. He's not asking, did she like me? He's asking, what did I learn about her energy, her mindset, her character? That's power, not arrogance, not manipulation. Power through awareness. Because awareness keeps you grounded in truth, while everyone else is hypnotized by appearances. If you've made it this far, that already tells me something about you. Most men click away when a message challenges their ego. But you stayed. That means you're not running from truth. You're refining it, and that's what separates ordinary men from Stoic men. So, thank you for being here. Because the fact that you're still listening means you've already passed a test most fail. The test of stillness. You didn't rush to react. You stayed to understand. That patience alone puts you ahead of 95% of the world. To reward you, I'm going to tell you a very valuable story. There was once a man who believed that generosity was the key to being loved. Every first date, he covered the bill. Every second date, he brought flowers. Every third, he bought gifts. And every time, it ended the same way. Gratitude at first, distance later. He couldn't understand why doing everything right felt so wrong. He'd been told that good men provide, that kindness guarantees connection. But with every act of giving, he felt smaller, not stronger. One day, after another silent rejection, he sat alone at a cafe and decided to do something radical. Nothing. The next time he went on a date, he didn't rush to impress. He didn't perform. He simply showed up, calm, grounded, observant. When the bill arrived, he waited. She looked at him, half expecting the usual performance. But instead, he smiled softly and said, "We could split it." She blinked, surprised, then nodded. And for the first time, the conversation after didn't feel forced. She spoke differently, not to a provider, but to a person. That moment changed everything, because he realized that what women respect most isn't generosity, it's authenticity. When you remove the performance, you reveal the man, and from that day forward, he never paid to be seen again. He gave when it aligned with his values, not his fears. He gave when the moment felt right, not when the world told him to. And what he discovered was simple but profound. The right woman doesn't need proof of your worth. She feels it in your composure. To conclude, the price of peace. There was a wise man who once said that every man pays on the first date. Some with money, others with peace. The foolish man spends to be remembered. The stoic man invests to remain himself. One gives his energy trying to buy acceptance. The other guards his energy to preserve direction. And when the world confuses the two, chaos follows. Because when you move like that, you'll attract what's meant for you and repel what's not. Stay aware. Stay stoic. Stay sharp.